Imagine coming through this area long time ago and seeing a different landscape. Seeing an abundance of wildlife all around you. And vegetation may be different than it is today. It may have been a lot more lush environment, but we're not really certain. But we have a group of Indians that came through called the Paleo Indians that first came across the land bridge, and then they developed into the Archaic Indians, and there's all kinds of different sites all over Colorado. And we know this by their implements that they used, like their projectile points and the other stone tools that they left. Then along came the Fremont, and there was two bands. There was a northern band and a southern band. The northern band of Fremont Indians lived primarily in Utah, and they extended down into this region of Colorado. And they are unique figures that they have petroglyphs and pictographs. Pictographs are painted in, and petroglyphs are pecked in. And Fremont Indians have a tendency to have their style be more triangular figured and different. Then you have the Utes that the Fremont supposedly broke into. There's an ongoing debate as to where the Fremont went, but they definitely lived in this area. And then you had the Utes. When people first came through here, like Hayden and Escalante and Dominguez, who tried to find ways west, met these Utah Indians, and somehow the word got changed to the Utes. But there's different bands of Utes, and they lived all over Colorado and Utah. And they lived here off the land, and there would be seasonal changes where they would follow animals. And through this area that you're seeing right here, they came through this area after bighorn. There may have been antelope back then and other critters. We know that elk are up on top of the Grand Mesa that is just to the east of me. And so they lived here, and they got along with the land, and they lived off of it. They used the sagebrush, that greenish blue plant that you see out there, was used by them, and it was an incense. It helped. They burned it for their prayers, and it was kind of like their way of cleansing themselves. Then you have these juniper, which are all around, which they use the sap to kind of as a glue, and also to cover wounds. And also they have berries in them that actually make gin. If you really want to know, they don't taste very good, but you can try them out for yourself. But it is a very unique area. I'm on the Palisade Trail, right outside of Palisade, Colorado, and it's a very unique area. And just imagine the different bands of Indians coming through here and hunting and gathering. And because of their seasonal nature, they lived in wickiups. They also lived in pit houses. And they also, on the plains of Colorado, used teepees. So they used a whole lot of different variations in lodging. But just imagine living in this landscape with this dryness and having to deal with it. And they were a hardy group of people. They met humans back in the 1800s and didn't want anything to do with them, so they moved up to the Uncompahgre Plateau where they lived, because they knew that no one else could live there, because it was very hard living, and humans can live hard living for a little while, but not past that point. So the Utes are very cool people, and we'll take a look at pictographs in just a second.